Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. Today is another Arrowverse recap video. For today's episode... Yeah, whatever. Okay, today's episode is Supergirl 5, Arrow 5, Legends 4, and Flash 5. Without further ado, let's get down in it. Alright, first, okay, so we start off this episode at a garden. We don't know whose garden it is until Kara actually says that it's her garden. And then, at first we only see Alex, John, and Alex there, but then in a little while we see Lena and James there, and then Brainy comes up like James is always cool and like that, and then we realize he's drunk, and so, yeah. There's a party for Kara getting an interview with Amadei, which is an alien healer person. James is watching Ben talk about aliens and whatnot. There's this. Okay, so from the last episode, we got this guy called Jensen. Well, we got the guy Jensen got the parasite into him, which was from season 2, which could take powers and get more powerful. And they also saved CGI by not having a monster in this episode. And Amadei has like a little amulet here that heals people. Yeah, and so so Jensen goes to this show that is a shapeshifter and is a pretty cool show, and then there's a girl like, I don't care what people say, I love shapeshifters, and so yeah. And so Jensen attacks the shapeshifter show. And yeah, the shapeshifter was taken by Jensen and got away because he shapeshifted into a little girl, and the little girl got away. And yeah, Kara's reaction to hate comments. After she did her interview with Amadei, she thought people would be positive and look at that, but then her reaction to hate comments. Amadei is dying because his amulet was missing, and John went into his mind to see what the last person was on his mind, and it was this random girl, Elizabeth Hawkins, which is the daughter of Amadei. Yeah. Facial recognition on the women who killed Amadei, which did not. It was just a child. Yeah, and James and Lena go to a party, and or like a social media party type thing, and they run into Ben. Which is, he's there, and he's like, oh yeah, I want to push you to go as Guardian. Yeah, and the mom stole the amulet because she was like, because Amadei actually kept replying to her, and the mom was like, he was an alien, I didn't like it, he had a once-night stand with me, and yeah. Child of Liberty found a way for Jensen to keep his powers, and yeah. And the amulet is a way for him to keep the powers. And also, if he can take powers, he can take the powers and keep the powers. And he can get stronger by not releasing the monster. Yeah. Amadei. There's a funeral for Amadei. And he could become immortal if he kills. And yeah. So they were like, oh, we can just do it how we defeated him last time. But they put a dome around him so he can get out. But yeah. And Jensen is there at the funeral. Yeah. Jensen apparently took powers that were from a Veleroy, which had fire, flu, lightning. That's just a lot of powers there. And somehow he's like critical, and so if Alex shoots him, he would blow up. And yeah. Amade is okay. Marlamo. I don't know what I wrote there. John is the PI. He's an alien PI, investigator person now. Aliens of National City is Kara's new thing where she's going to be with a new alien every single week. And Marla. I don't know. And Ben got James into being like, oh hey, yeah, what's this thing? So the thread of this episode is Jensen / the Parasite. The problem is that Parasite's back and Amade's amulet is gone. The quote is Brainy saying, "You told me to." Oh yeah, and then the one girl that's working with Kara was there, and Brainy was like at the garden, and Brainy was like, "You told me to find you, not to call you." Yeah. And that episode was called Parasite Lost. Now we're on to Arrow, episode 5, also entitled The Demon. Alright, so the thread of this episode is Jared, Parker, and Bird, which I'll get into Bird later. Alright, so the missions for this episode was expose Jared, find Ollie, and stop Bird. Alright, so Oliver has a bracelet thing, which if you do some bad things, it'll electrocute you and you'll have to go into this room that kills you. Yeah, Oliver's new cell. I just wanted to put that in there because, yeah. Shower guy from... the shower guy that beat him up in the shower is there in level 2. And so he's like, dude. Who's Diaz? Yeah. Malcolm Bird and Sumato. Curtis is going undercover as Samato, which is connected to Malcolm Bird, and Malcolm Bird wants this chemical, and know each other. Yeah, no, they know each other. Oliver tries to talk to Blockbuster, which I think is the shower guy's name. Blockbuster, I don't know. So I'm going to call him Blockbuster. If it's not, then... So, Felicity and Laurel are tracking Silencer. Laurel pushes Felicity to go talk to Oliver. And then she's like, he's not here, can I talk to him? And he's like, no, you can't because he's on... You just can't. And then... Stanley, or whatever his name is, he goes like, oh yeah, he's on level 2, you can't get to him, and then she's like, oh crap, we gotta get him out of level 2, and yeah. And so, apparently Talia al Ghul is the demon, and yeah, she's not dead. Somehow she got out with one of Diaz's drugs, which now she is the demon, because she's connected to Diaz. And, she ran into someone there. She did some bad things in Gotham City, and so she was taken down by Batman and sent to Slabberside. Gotham name drop. Samson. Yeah, Samson. Nah, it's not Samson. But whatever. Yeah, talks to Felicity. Block got pushed Oliver, so he got electrocuted and he had to go into the room that killed people. And so yeah, Block is killed. Blockbuster is killed. Curtis, okay, so now we're going back to the Argus mission. Curtis goes in there and he's trying to sell him this stuff. And he's like, okay. Yeah, no. And he's out of it because he doesn't want to be a vigilante anymore. He got out of the field when Oliver went to prison. Yeah, so Curtis is out of it. Felicity Felicity's girls investigate level 2, which that's Diana and Laurel. They investigate level 2 and try to find Jared Parker. And, Parker and Ollie talk about Block's death. He's like, that sounds like a thing the old you would have said. And yeah. Birds bomb. Bird's bomb is disarmed. Yeah, okay. So then Curtis is back into it, and it's a bomb. It's set up, and he was like, "Give me a countdown before you kill me." And then he was like, "I'm not talking to you." Dodges the little term comes out of the freaking briefcase and goes, and then Curtis disarms the bomb. Yeah. Talia and Rhea Oliver, which was a fake fight, so they could just both get into the room where they died. To get it in Oliver gets mad and breaks free. He broke free and he's like, "My name is Oliver Queen." And freaking hurts Jared Parker. And so yeah. The morgue is the only way out. Talia escapes, she goes, while Oliver stays back, he gets destroyed. And because if he leaves, he's a fugitive forever. Team Felicity think to get Ollie out, like they got level 2 to shut down, and so they think they can use the same way they did that to get Oliver out of jail. Kinda. Talia kills Parker. Samson tells Oliver that Felicity has a lead on Diaz. Yeah. Ollie, level 2 was shut down. Now he's back. Now he's been taken back to level 1. And yeah, Diaz. Okay, so then they look back at the thing. The tracker is in Moscow. The silencer is in Moscow. And they're like, why is he in Moscow? Or why is she in Moscow? Diaz has Anatoly. And so Anatoly is going to be a big part of the next episode, I think. Alright, the quote of this episode. Diggle saying, "We made a pit stop for chocolate." So he could just cover up the Lena thing, or the, yeah. Next is Legend of Tomorrow, which is episode 4, which is entitled "Wet Hot American Bummer." The place is Camp Awagawa, Maine, in 1995. And yeah, the date spoiled by a swamp thing. It's because it's the 4th movie in the series, and then based on real life events. But then, and yeah, the weird thing is that Gideon is on the phone for some reason. I mean, Gideon is a freaking thing. Okay, so is a intellect thing that could literally target anything and anyone. Ava goes with Sarah on this mission. John makes... Okay, so they get there and they want to make a border. And John Constantine makes a border around the place, and so no monster can get in or no monster can get out, and yeah. Ray is a lame counselor, Sarah is a fun counselor. But then there's 2 newbies that didn't have a childhood, which is Ava, which I totally forgot that she was a robot by the end of the episode, and Constantine, which didn't have a place to go. So, yeah, the newbies are the really hard-ass counselors, and yeah. Ava wants to catch the creature and make everyone safe. Sarah wants to have fun. One of Sarah's kids goes missing, and so does Ray and Constantine's. Monster takes Girl and Zach. It's because the border was broke by the kids, because apparently every single year, every single night, kids got to go out there, have their first kiss, and come back, but they never did, and so that's when the monster takes. And we find out about, we get two counselors at the beginning of the episode, which we see at the end of the episode, which, yeah. So it's not a swamp thing. The newbies take charge. I don't know what I wrote that for. So Charlie escapes by using Zari, and she escapes, and she's like banging on a wall, and then Mick is like, "Hit the road, kid," and puts her back in. And then they have some moments that then Charlie talks about the whatever thing. And then there's the Lake Beast story, which is a prank Lake Beast story just to scare Ava into the water. And so it's a prank, and then they call her Lake Beast. And yeah. And then there's four missing kids, because from that night there 2 other kids went missing. And Sarah was like, "Oh, if we need to get closer to the kids, we need to become them." And so now Constantine gives them a potion to turn into kids to get into their clique. The guys are looking for the missing kids, while the girls are trying to become girls. The girls' mission is to use the potion to get into the clique. So this thing, the Striga, sheds after every kill. And the Striga is a vampiric witch that feeds off kids slowly. Yeah. Mick and Charlie drink and get knowledge of the Dark Realm. There it is. The guys go save the kids. Young Ava, young Sarah, caught following a string because they did some Truth or Dare or Would You Rather or whatever, and so they follow they're following the string that gets cut, and they're caught by the person that we first meet when we get there. And the tracker spell. Okay, so Constantine uses a tracker spell to find the kids. It works, and then there's the kids, and then they do more spells to wake them up. Okay, so the Striga is a young, handsome dude. Which then we figure that out, and then he's red eyes, and then he beats them first. Well, and then Ava and Sarah versus the Striga, and they win. And also, for this I didn't write it down, but Charlie helps them while she's trapped in. He's like, yada yada yada, whoa, this is the Striga, he's a vampiric witch, and he only dies if you stab him in the heart, or whatever. And yeah, John saves a kid, and apparently he doesn't like to see kids in pain, and so this episode was really great to see that. And also the one episode that they showed on that night after Arrow showed or whatever. And then Ray's campers to the rescue with like girders or whatever to carry out the kids. And yeah. Alright, so Charlie is let out by Mick, and she stays to help the team about all the knowledge that they can about other things. And then Nora's cooking soup. So, yeah, Constantine gives part of his soul into a kid, and yeah, and then Ray is like, we need someone magical to help him, and then we transition to Nora cooking soup for like a Renaissance fair or whatever. And yeah, and then that was weird. But, you know, everything's a little weird sometimes. So yeah, the magical fugitive was a Striga. The quote of this episode is Sarah saying Nate and Gary are in charge of the bureau. But it doesn't say that, but they were in charge of the bureau for a day. Or at least a week. Alright, now we're on to Flash. Episode 5, also entitled All Dolled Up. So the mission is to stop Ragdoll and investigate and find Thomas. Because there's 2 storylines in this. Nora is not showing up for any training things. Painting robbery at 10 a.m. And Barry goes to stop one of them while Nora stops another one, but the bike is still going. And so Nora almost kills 2 people, but Flash saves them. Boom. Cisco vibes stuff during this whole episode. But then during this whole episode, he's kind of only injuring himself. The first time it was just a little bit of blood. The second time it was a lot of blood. And then the third time he actually fainted out. Woo! Okay. So Sherlock, Caitlin, and Cisco go to the university where he taught with Professor Stein. And yeah. Ragdoll's first attack was for a necklace, and then he takes it and he smashes his hand, gets in it and picks it, and yeah, he came out of prison. Remodeling the West House is what Cecile and Nora do for this whole episode. CIA Barry, wow, there's reporter Iris. Dad and Martin know each other. Knew each other, yeah. Okay. Thomas knew there was 2 of Caitlin. And the more Cisco uses his power, the more blood he gets, the more hurt he gets. Ragdoll's next attack was on a building, and he freaking comes in through those vent things. Dude, this is a creepy episode. And he comes in through the vents. And yeah, okay, so apparently he was this rich person, and then 2 years ago he got out of it and didn't like to be rich anymore, and so he went out doing crime, and then yeah, he was smashed by the Enlightenment. And so yeah, so then they go to this party that the mom is celebrating, and then she's like, oh yeah, I hated him, and then Nora or Iris steps out and is like, I'm just like that woman. And yeah. So it's a date night, but it's just a mission to get intel on this guy. So they had their first dance. Cisco thinks he lost value to the team just because he lost his powers. But then Caitlin's there and is being a great friend, almost made me tear. Story time with Nora and Cecile. So Cecile is telling stories about Barry, but they're actually targeted to Iris. And so Cecile is trying to help Nora. Just focus on your mom today. Don't think about her in the future. I like that. Oh, and yeah, Ragdoll was at the party. So Ragdoll attacked those places because they meant something personal to him. Ragdoll takes Barry. Sherlock broke the strapulator, so they can get to Barry. Ralph and Iris go, and Ralph swings like Spider-Man, and yeah. Ragdoll was crushed by shrapnel of the satellite. And yeah. And then he pushes them off, and Iris runs, jumps off, unlocks it, and then Barry saves them both. I didn't check it one time. So then there's growth in the family, because Nora and Iris just talk for a bit. And yeah, they tell some stories about the out exposing the janitor for doing some. And then others. Okay, so they figure out where Thomas is he's hiding at one of the transversation sites or whatever. And so the other satellites that were for the Enlightenment are still in space. And so there's still 4 up there. And so now we're using those 4 satellites as the satellite for Star Labs. And so now they have eyes in the skies now again. And they can use those to find Thomas, which is Caitlin's dad. Yeah. And then the next episode is the icicle coming. And so, yeah. Alright. So Barry saying, the quote of today's episode was Barry saying, "It's not a date without a dance." And then, yeah, they dance, get the special moment, and yeah. Alright guys, hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, please leave a big like down below. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Peace. Bye.